Okay, so good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the channel. My name's Emily. This is Autumn Budgets. Welcome if you're new, welcome back if you're returning. It's really nice to see everybody. Welcome. So today we are doing something exciting. We have now saved enough money to finish off our bake and save 100 envelope savings challenge. This is by the lovely GB Income Babes. I bought this as a digital download and just made it my own. I have gone through, we are about £40 short, so I'm pretty sure that we've got that in our priority. As you know, this has been our priority all year, and it always takes a bit more money every week than everything else because this is the #1 priority for 2025. So let's put that over there. I don't think I need these, but I do need them. So what have we got? July, August, September, October. Right, we'll put those back in. This is how we do it every week. We literally scratch off 2 of these and then save it up to the nearest 10. So that was 25, and next week will be 25 again, but this will now count towards next month, as this week is my end of month. So it's a perfect time to do it, really, and then we can finish it all off. And we have something very exciting new starting today. We're going to start it. So let's make sure I filled all these in. So let's see what we did. So in this, we put in all that we had in our binder. So that was a good boost. We've been saving this since September 2024. So then we put in 80, 85. We then topped it off. I topped off my rent account at 110. So that came out. I'm going to plus 40 out of this now, which means that with month ahead for our bake and save, with all our little low cost savings challenges, I'll go through it in a sec. We have essentially managed to fill it in. And we have saved a total of £500. So amazing stuff. So it's really easy when you know you've got a little booklet. Right, so we've got fully funded here. I have a month of direct debits and a month of rent in the bank at the moment. We are 1 month ahead. Not in the way that we're saving now, which is like, you know, for fuel and food, and like a complete month, I would call it. Bills and rent, we saved for that when we were changing over to universal credit last year. Yeah, we saved that up. Took us 18 months, but we did it. And as you can see, it all works. So yeah, September last year I started. So we have £450 in the bank as well. So we need to make it up to 500. So we've got 20, 40 and 50. Right, so that is our £500 from Bake and Save. And this lovely challenge is by GB Income Babes. So yeah, helped us save a lot. We also paid some off our rent account. Let's not forget that. So there is money missing. This will go on to the next challenge in a second. But yeah, let me get a little shot. We finished Bake and Save and got 500 quid out of it. Well, actually, technically we got more than that, but we got 610 altogether. So there we go. That's that one. I will just do a little flip through and I'll show you, and then we will move on. So I think I said I needed 103 in here. Most certainly did not. Oh, what I was counting, I really don't. But I have filled it in again since then. So, for Bake and Save, you'll get 1. All of these are worth 1. All of these are worth 2. I just put some of that lovely laminate acetate stuff between and printed some of the pretty pages. When you get this is a digital download. I believe she makes physical copies of this. So I'll link GB's YouTube down below. She's a lovely lady, and you can go and check her stuff out. And then we've got Bake and Save 2, and then we've got 3 and 4, and so it went on. Also, she gives you cards that go with it. If you know me from Build a Farm, you know that this is the lady that I got it off. I made all my cards out of cards, and also you can have all those with it as well. I shall save all mine because I will come back to this at some point next year again, because it's just so easy and fun, you know. So there we go. And then what we got at the end was we got a scratch off. Well, you could turn it into a scratch off, and I did. So we've got scratch offs here. You can also do that with a card. And then we've got Bake and Save. So we just rolled a dice and saved our own. So yeah, it was really fun. I enjoyed it very, very much. So that's Bake and Save over and done with. And I'm going to put this to the side. So that's 500 done. And I might even put that in the bank and put another placeholder in there. So we know that we've completed this challenge and it got us 500 quid. Right, so let's put that to the side. Percy, would you sit on that for me a second? Put that fully funded in there as well, because that'll go back in the envelope. Oh, come here. So sorry, my hands are so awful. I have been, really, really awful. I have been in the garden and all sorts of things. So yeah, it's been a busy old week. So we've got 5, 10, 15, 25, 35, 45, 55, 65, 75. Right, let's make sure we've got that's what we got. 5, 10, 15, 25, 35, 45, 55, 65, 75. Right, so we've got £75 to go into our new savings challenge book, which is by the lovely Grounded Budgets. I have been waiting to do this forever. We are going to do the Wings of Ember. Also at the end of this, I will go through quickly our murder mystery as well. We are doing Midsummer Murder. We'll go through some of the evidence again. So yeah, after this I will give you a warning, and if that's it for you, then thank you very much for joining us. But if you are joining in the murder mystery, and I know a lot of you are, yeah, I think we might open that and see who it is, but I'm not sure. We'll see. Anyway, so let's get on to this Wings of Ember. So this is like a book that Grounded Budgets did. I've got her other one. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? So I'm in the middle of sorting out all of my, I won't swear on here, but all of my stuff. Shall we say all of my stuff? Yes, all of my stuff. So, oh well, not to worry. Yeah, she's got another one, a little one that was about holidays and stuff. We started it, never got to finish it. So what we are going to do on this is we are going to do Wings of Ember. We're going to do something different. So the further you obviously go on, the more that you save. Also, this time she has included a little QR code so you can check your route. So you can have a bit more control over how much or how little you're putting into the challenge, and you can view the map here. So I might do that, but at the moment, while we've still got £75, we're going to take the expensive options. So what you get with it is, I've laminated these, is you get obviously a dashboard, and then you get 3 trackers. So yeah, I've laminated these so I can use them again and again. So let's put what do we want first? We want one of those out, don't we? Okay, right, we'll put this to one side. Okay, is everybody ready for Wings of Ember? Let's pop that in there. So it says, the kingdom of Eldrin is a land of breathtaking skies and boundless horizons, where the mountainscapes scrape the clouds and dragons rule the heavens. For centuries, Eldrin thrived under the protection of the dragon-bound order, an ancient pact between humans and dragons that ensured peace across the realm. The kingdom's prosperity, however, was built on a fragile balance, once maintained by the vigilant stewards who tamed and bonded with the mighty beasts of the air. Yet in recent years, whispers of an ancient threat, the Shadow Pyre, have began to seep through the air like smoke, stirring unease among those who still believe in the prophecies. In a bustling city called Lorinth, we'll say Lorinth, please correct me if I'm wrong, the Great Archive, a labyrinthian library brimming with dusty tomes and forgotten prophecies, is the new workplace of the few remaining scholars. Isa is a dedicated scholar with insatiable curiosity, spends her days deciphering ancient texts and uncovers the mysteries of the past. Though her peers dismiss her as an overly ambitious, she believes the old legends hold vital truths. Is it Aisha? Should we call her Aisha? I will check, because I know that Grounded Budgets has got like her reading the bits and pieces, and she goes through it all, so I'll make sure that my pronunciation is correct. So as Isa hurries through the winding cobblestone path, her arms laden with scrolls and an unsteady stack of books, the morning sun bathes the city in golden light. Isa barely notices Isa, yeah, let's call her Isa. Yeah, Isa. Her thoughts consumed by an ominous prophecy she uncovered the night before. She dodges a bustling merchant cart, her mind sprawling with ancient symbols and cryptic warnings, when a familiar voice cuts through the crowd. Well, if it isn't Eldrin's resident bookworm, Jaswin drawls, leaning casually against a market stall. Their leather armour glints in the sunlight, the dragon-bound order embalmed, stitched boldly on the chest, still chasing dusty old stories, I see. Meanwhile, some of us are actually keeping the kingdom safe. Right, so, should we argue with him, or should we go straight to the Great Archive? I don't know, actually. And I'm so bad at choosing, so let's let the dice decide. Yay! Let's let the dice decide. Where is my tower? Oh my goodness me, I don't know where my tower is or where my hobbit house is. Well, we will. Top is odd, bottom is even. So, odd, so we are going to argue with Jaswin on page 7, section 1. So, let's take 8 off that. Okay, go to page 7. We are going to page 7, scene 1. Aisha clenches her jaw, her grip tightening on the scrolls. Knowledge is as vital as strength, Jaswin, she replies evenly, though her heart pounds with frustration. Without understanding our past, how can we hope to protect our future? Jaswin smirks, their tone dripping in mockery. I'll leave the riddles to you, Isa. While you're buried in your books, I'll be out there soaring the skies doing something that actually matters. The words sting, but Isa refuses to let Jaswin see it. Instead, she straightens her back and holds her ground. One day, Jaswin, you might wish you'd paid more attention to those dusty old stories. And with that, she strides past him, her determination burning brighter than her anger. So, should we take the scenic route, or shall we go straight there? No, let's go straight there. Right, so we are on section 16, sorry, page 16, section 1. I do like these. Right, 16. Section 1. The Great Archive looms before Isa as she attempts, as she steps into its shadow. Its towering stone spires, a testament to centuries of knowledge safeguarded within. The air here is cooler, carrying the faint aroma of aged parchment and candle wax. Pushing open the heavy oak doors, Aisha steps into the vast hall, her annoyance ebbing as the familiar hush of the library wraps round her like a comforting cloak. Inside, sunlight filters through the arched windows of the stained glass, casting patterns of emerald and gold across the polished marble floor. Rows of towering bookshelves stretched into the distance. Their contents a treasure trove of wisdom, histories, and forgotten lore. Aisha exhales here among the quiet hum of scholars and the whispered turning of pages. She feels safe. Still, Jaswin's words linger on the edge of her thoughts, a persistent itch she can't quite ignore. Keeping the kingdom safe, she mutters under her breath as she ascends a spiral staircase leading to her workplace in the upper alcove. Her fingers brush the banister, worn by generations of scholars before her. They have no idea how much depends on understanding the past. Settling at her desk, beneath a vaulted ceiling painted with constellations, Aisha unrolls the prophecy scroll with determined hands. Whatever doubts Jaswin might have planted, they will not deter her, not now, not when the future of Eldarin could hinge on what she discovers next. Right, it says go to page 2, section 1, so that's 3. Let's take 3 off. Section 2, page 2, sorry, section 1. Right, okay, page 2, section 1. Isa leans over the ancient scroll, its edges fragile and flaking, the ink faded but still legible in a soft light streaming through the windows. The script is written in an archaic dialect, its curling letters forming riddles that twisted her mind in knots. She traces the words with a careful finger, murmuring along to herself as she deciphers the cryptic phrases. Where fire falls and shadows rise, the embers burn beneath the skies. She reads, her brow furrowing. The prophecy speaks of the shadow pyre's warning, but the clues to the ember's heart location are veiled in poetic metaphor. Symbols accompany the text, drawing of dragon stars and a jagged mountain peak that looks eerily familiar. Her mind races as she cross-references the imagery with maps and text piled around her. It says go to page 9. So let's -5. We'll go to page 9. Everyone liking it so far? I like a bit of this, as you know. Absolute bookworm. So amazing. Right. Okay. So, gathering her notes and the fragile scroll, Aisha carefully stacks them in a satchel and makes her way through the labyrinthian halls of the great archive to the Diades, the oldest scroll in the library. His chamber is tucked away in a secluded corner of the building where the scent of old parchment is even stronger and the warm glow of countless candles casts flickering shadows on the stone walls. Diades is a figure of quiet wisdom, his silver beard flowing like a river over his robes, and his keen eyes through the clouded, though clouded with age, miss nothing. Hi, Isa. Diades greets her without looking up from his lap. You found something. His voice carries a soothing weight, grounding Isa even as her thoughts buzz with urgency. I think I have, but the pieces aren't coming together, she admits, carefully unrolling the scroll and spreading it on the wide oak table before him. The prophecy is about the shadow pyre, and I'm certain it points to Emberheart, but these metaphors, I hope you'd help me make sense of them. Diades leans forward, his fingers brushing the ancient parchment and scans the text. Where fire falls and shadow rise, he murmurs, stroking his beard. This is not just poetic phrasing. These words are deliberate, designed to outlast time itself. Tell me, child, what do you see in these symbols here. He gestures to the drawings, inviting Aisha to share her interpretations, and she does. Her voice a mix of determination and uncertainty. Together they pore over the scrolls, their combined insights beginning to unravel the mystery. Hours pass, and Isa and Diades pore over the scrolls and her notes. Their quiet discussion, punctuated by moments of intense focus and an occasional murmur of discovery. The flickering candlelight has drawn dim, and the shadows in the chamber stretch long when Diades finally leans back with a weary sigh. That will be enough for today, he says, rubbing his temples. The mind grows dull when pushed too far. Rest now, Isa, and we will pick this up again tomorrow with clearer heads. Should Isa remain and work through the night, or go home and rest? Ooh. Okay, let's have the odd and even. Even, okay, we're going home to rest then, right. I don't think that's the right thing to do, though. Yeah, we're going to carry on. There's me going, yeah, well, we'll let the dice decide, and then I do it. So what's that, page 4, section 1. It might send us home anyway. Page 4, section 1. Okay. As Diades bids her good night and retreats to his quarters, Isa lingers in the flicker glow of the candles, her gaze fixed upon the scroll till still spread across the table. The elder scroll's advice, the elder scholar's advice rings in her ears, but rest feels impossible with the weight of the prophecy pressing on her shoulders. Gathering her notes and the fragile parchment, Isa returns to her own desk in the upper alcove, where the stained glass windows now cast muted colours in the moonlight. Determination surges with her as she settles into the chair, surrounded by stacks of books and half-burned candles. I can't stop now, she whispers to herself, unfurling the scroll once more. With the quiet of the library as her only companion, Isa dives into her work, her quill scratching furiously as she pieces together fragments of the ancient riddle, unwilling to let the mystery rest for another day. Right, it says go to page 23, section 1. So let's take 6 out of that as well. Yeah, right. Page 23, section 1. So if you can hear Oscar in the background again. He is playing with his mates online, which is very sweet. You'll hear the occasional giggle. Right, 23, section 1. Ooh, there we go. Isa wakes with a start, her cheek pressed against the cool surface of her desk in the dim light of the archives upper alcove. The candles around her have now burned low, wax pooling in haphazard trails across the table. Her notes lie scattered beneath her, and the scroll remains unfurled. Stretching her stiff limbs, she sighs, frustration bubbling beneath the weight of exhaustion, despite a night spent poring over the prophecy, cross-referencing tests and sketching theories. No new revelations have emerged. The pieces still refuse to fit, and the riddle of the ember's heart remains maddeningly out of reach. Rubbing her temples, she steels herself for another day, determined that the answers must be within her grasp, even if they remain elusive for now. On her way to Diades' chamber, Isa stops in the courtyard of the archives, where breakfast is being served to the early risers. The scent of freshly baked bread and warm porridge wafts through the air, mingling with the soft chirping of sparrows nesting in the ivy-covered walls. Right, should she stop for breakfast? Yes, absolutely. We all know I like eating. Well, not so much at the moment, but I did. So what is it? Page 2, section 2. Okay. Right, so Isa fills a wooden bowl with porridge and tops it with a handful of dried berries. Savouring the warmth of the meal, she settles into a stone bench. The courtyard is quiet, save for the murmured conversation of a few scholars sipping tea and the distant toll of a bell marking the morning hour. For a moment, the stillness allows her to clear her mind. The taste of honeyed oats grounding her after the long fruitless night. As she finishes the last bite, she takes a deep breath, adjusts her satchel, and rises, ready to face another round of unraveling the prophecy with Diades. Go to page 11, -2. Right, let's go to page 11. Here we go. Right. Isa climbs the spiral staircase to Diades' secluded office, her steps echoing softly in the quiet of the morning. The door is slightly ajar. She pushes it open to find the elder scholar already at his desk, poring over weathered tome with a steaming cup of tea by his side. Diades looks up as she enters, a faint smile tugging at his lips. "Ah, Isa, I trust you have come armed with a fresh resolve," he says, gesturing for her to join him across the oak table. The two dive back into the work, piecing together fragments of knowledge, and slowly but surely the answers begin to take shape. Like the dragon emerging from the mist, the prophecy written in the flowing scrolls of the ancient dialects speak of the looming threat and its key to its undoing, shrouded in riddles and metaphor. Where the fire falls and shadows rise, a pyre wakes beneath crimson skies. The embers light where mountains weep, shall silence flames that never sleep. Through dragon's wing and scholar's eye, the path is found where secrets lie. But tread with care, for ash will claim the bold, the proud, and the untamed. The lines hint at the shadow's pyre, a cursed, unquenchable flame capable of consuming all of Eldrin, and the ember heart describes as a source of light or energy capable of exhausting the pyre. As they delve deeper into the prophecy, Isa pauses, a finger tracing one phrase, through dragon's wing and scholar's eye. As she looks up at Diades, who is stroking his silver beard thoughtfully. It says, be resistant about needing dragons, and go to page 20, or get a map from the shelf to help plan the journey. Yes, I think a map would be completely advisable at this point. So where are we going? We're going to page 17. So she's obviously going to travel there. Okay, so with a determined sigh, Isa strides to one of the shelves that Diades has just indicated, her fingers skimming the rolled parchment until she finds the map she is looking for. She pulled it down carefully, the edges curling slightly as she spreads it out across the wide oak table. The map is detailed, showing the vast expanse of Eldrin. Diades leans in, studying the map with her, and the two begin tracing potential routes. Their voices low and focused as they weigh the challenges each path might present. Diades leans over the map, his finger tracing a jagged line through the skyward mountains. The terrain here will be your greatest challenge, he begins, his voice thoughtful. The skyward range is treacherous, steep cliffs, narrow passes, and unpredictable weather. The peaks are home to fierce winds that could easily dislodge a traveler, even one on dragonback. He shifts his focus to the shaded area at the base of the mountains. This forest, the shrouded veil, is dense and difficult to navigate. There are stories of travelers who have gone in and never come out. You need to tread carefully. Moving his finger further west, he stops at a winding river that flows through the mountains. Here, the river Lara carves through the valley, and it's your clearest marker. If the prophecy speaks of weeping mountains, the river might lead you to the waterfall. But this area is known for its rocky terrain and hidden caves, natural places for the ember heart to be concealed. He straightens his expression grave. The journey will not be easy, Aisha. Even with the dragons to help you on your way, you must prepare for the dangers ahead. You'll need your wits, your strength, and perhaps a bit of luck to see it through. Diodes strokes his beard thoughtfully, his gaze fixed on the map. The question remains, do we seek permission from the rulers of Eldin to embark on such a quest? Or do we act quietly? Ooh, I don't know. Should we ask for permission and then go anyway, or do we just not ask? Oh, let's ask for permission, shall we? Okay, so go to page 33. They'll probably say no anyway, but it's all money, isn't it? We're saving. Right, okay. So, the Grand Hall of Eldrin's Palace is an imposing space with vaulted ceilings and that echo the murmurs of courtiers and the taps of boots on polished stone. Isa stands alone, Diodes before the gilded throne, her satchel clutched tightly at her side. The rulers, King Adrian and Queen Lyessa, regard them with a mix of curiosity and skepticism. Diodes bows deeply, his silver beard bushing his chest. Your Majesties, the prophecy is clear in its warning. The Shadow Pyre is not a mere legend. It is very real, a threat to Eldrin, and Emberheart is our only hope of quelling its flames before they consume the realm. All we ask is that your blessing to undertake this journey, and if possible, your aid in securing the cooperation of the Dragon-bound Order. King Adrian leans forward, his sharp gaze fixed on Isa. And you, scholar, do you truly believe you can succeed where so many have failed? The Skyward Mountains are perilous, and the Order does not grant access to their dragons lightly. Isa meets his gaze, her voice firm and unwavering. I do, Your Majesty. With respect, we cannot afford to wait until the danger is upon us. If the prophecy is correct, and I'm certain it is, the quest is not a choice but a necessity. I am prepared to face whatever the challenge lies ahead. The rulers exchange a long look, the weight of their decision palpable in the room. Finally, Queen Lyessa nods. Very well, you have our permission. We will issue a decree to the Dragon Order though their cooperation is not guaranteed. May the skies favour your journey, and may you return with the Emberheart before it is too late. As they step out of the palace into the crisp midday air, Diodes turns to Isa. We've taken the first step now, but we must move swiftly, he says, his voice low but firm. I will go ahead to the Dragon-bound Order and make necessary introductions. You should return home and prepare. Pack only essentials, tools for your research, provisions for your journey. He places a steady hand on her shoulder. Rest if you can, Isa. The road ahead will demand more of you than you know. Right. So we're on page 13, section 1. This video is so long. I am so sorry. I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am. Page 13, section 1. Okay, 1 second. Sorry, people, let me. Okay. Back at her cottage, Isa stands before the small wooden chest, carefully folding and packing her belongings. She tucks her notes and the maps into a waterproof satchel, adds a few changes of practical clothing and a worn journal alongside a pouch of charcoal sticks for sketches and observations. As the satchel fills, her exhaustion begins to feel heavier. So he told her to rest, didn't he? So let's rest. Oh, we're nearly coming to the end of our journey for now. So page 15, section 1. Okay, page 15, section 1. Diodes' words echo in Isa's mind. Rest if you can. The road ahead will demand more of you than you know. With a reluctant sigh, she sits on the edge of her bed and allows herself to lie back, promising she'll only shut her eyes for a moment. Sorry, she'll only close her eyes for a moment. The soft embrace of the blanket lulls her into a deep, dreamless sleep almost instantly. She doesn't know how long she's been out, but when she's jolted but awake by a loud, insistent knocking on the door, heart's racing, she sits up abruptly, her mind still foggy with sleep. As the knocking continues, echoing through the quiet of a cottage, should Isla answer the door? Of course. Page 5, section 1. Okay. Page 5, section 1. Okay. Isa freezes as the knocking continues, her heart pounding in her chest. She doesn't move, holding her breath as she braces herself for the possibility of an unwelcome intruder. But after a tense moment, the knocking stops, followed by the muffled sound of someone muttering under their breath. Footsteps retreat from her door, accompanied by a short huff of frustration. She exhales slowly, her nerves still taut, and moves cautiously to the window. Peeking through the curtains, she can see her figure striding away into the shadows. Oh, look at that. We are literally on the last thing. So page 21, section 1 will be our last one for today. Ooh, after ignoring the knocking, Isa gathers her satchel and cloak, determined to take control of the situation. The air is cool as she makes her way through the winding streets to the dragon-bound Order's stronghold, a towering fortress perched on a hill overlooking the Labyrinth. Inside the hall is alive with a low murmur of stewards and occasional rumbles of dragons from the adjoining Airy. The head steward, a stern yet composed woman named Alenra, greets her with a curt nod and wastes no time. You'll be accompanied by Caen, Alenra says, gesturing towards a tall figure standing a few places away. Caen steps forward, his dark leather armor fitting snugly over a lean, muscular frame. His sharp features and piercing grey eyes immediately catch Isa's attention, but his expression, a mix of impatience and indifference, douses any warmth in the introduction. So you're the scholar who can't answer the door, he said, his tone clipped from his gaze sweeping over her as though assessing her worth. Let's hope you're as smart as they say. Isa bristles at his gruff demeanour and forces herself to remain composed. Handsome or not, Caen clearly isn't interested in making a good first impression. Right, this is where we are going to have to put a little something, I think. Hang on, right, okay. We will put that. Let's put that there so we know where we are. Well, what do we think of that so far? We know that she's got to go on she's got to find the flame or whatever it is to put it out. Was the embers? Anyway, so yeah, I don't know what you think. Let me know what you think. I love this stuff. Obviously, I'm a massive sci-fi nerd as well. I think as well that I'm going to go back to my original mat as well. I really want to do this. So yeah. Okay, so right, we're going to put the 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75. So that's 75 in there. We're going to keep this completely separate. I'm going to change that, take it to the bank, and put the little next bit in as well. So let's fill our thing in. We went from page number... Oh, were we supposed to do it all the way along? Oh, dear. Right, never mind then. We went... Where did we go? We went to a lot of pages. So let's just put... We are on page... We finished off on page 21, section 1. So page 21, section 1. And that was £75. Gosh, we've gone right into it, haven't we? So that will be good when we pick it up again, because I will do this every sort of 2 or 3 weeks when we've got some money, because it's not as demanding as as our little bacon save, so we can do more of this every so often. I mean, if I keep getting like 25 or 30 pounds worth of stuff, then I might do this every week. That would be nice, wouldn't it, to have an installment every week? Okay, right, let's pop that in there. I might have a look and see where the Wings of Ember are going. And I probably, because it's obviously our main priority, I might make it the longest route possible, but we will see. So anyway, let's change that. I don't think I've got a £50 here with me, so we'll change that, and then we'll put a £500 placeholder in there instead. So let's do that. Oh dear, it's gone somewhere. Right, so I'll leave that in there for now. We know that we are on a new one, and that's quite handy really, because then we can start again with these, and I'll use a different color so we know where we are. So I hope you enjoyed that. I didn't mean to do so much reading, and also I knew I was going to do this Wings of Ember book. I said I was going to, but is it too much books? I personally like it, and I probably record them anyway, so we are going to do that. And yeah, really, really good. It said a choose your own adventure savings challenge book. So again, my thanks to GB at Income Babes. If you leave me here and you don't want to do the Midsummer Murder, then thank you so much. Let me know what you think of our Wings of Ember. I certainly do like it. It is amazing. So well done, Kit, at Grounded Budgets. Goodness me, brain's not on it today. So yeah, we've started it off. And I will check the pronunciations of the names. But yeah, so if you leave me here, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you very much for joining me. Right now, we are going to get on to our, oh my goodness me, are we going to open this or shall we leave it? I am not sure, people. I am really not sure. So it says this is the answer. So C has the answer. So should we just go through the clues again? So they've all got alibis. So if you are new here and you are tagging along, we've got 4 suspects in our cruise murder. The gentleman that was murdered was a wealthy individual. Of course he was. His wife couldn't care less about him. And his 2 business partners were deep in debt. It was stupid. His name is Mr. Stephen Michaelberg, and apparently the company is doing really well. And it just so happened that on the last morning that they were on the cruise, on the last day of the cruise, it just so happened that there was some balcony cleaning going on. So usually everything's locked up, sorry, but obviously this was open. So in theory, it could be anybody. So we've got the 2 business partners who are in debt. One of them's in serious police trouble as well. The other one needs the money for some venture or other. His wife was very understanding person. Sarcasm there. She said he deserved to die because he was such a horrible person. We know he was an alcoholic, and we know that the cleaning boy who went in had already had his hands on the money they kept in the cupboard, but they weren't worried about that. So I don't know. We have evidence to prove that his daughter needs an operation, so needs so much money. So basically it could have been any of them. So if we just have a look through some bits again, and yeah, I think we should go through, let's go through A first. So yeah, we know that this Jack Dawson is always cleaning their cabin. He obviously got caught on that Monday. Yeah, he got caught on that Monday. So he was due to clean in there on the Friday that the guy was killed. So it says that the cruise ship employee Jack Dowson could be a very clear suspect. He has an unhindered access to the cabin 213, and it says that he was on the cleaning schedule, obviously. If we follow the serial number from his ID card, we notice that the system report of cabin 213, he actually entered the cabin on the day in question. Unfortunately, we have no data on whether he left the cabin before the murder slot because the system gave an error. What bad luck, it says. Or is there other evidence still? So why would he do it? It says simple for cash. Even Mrs. Meikerberg confesses in her interrogation that she was surprised on the first day with a stack of money in his hand. Because a simple employee in the cleaning area, his money would have been great help for him, especially as the WhatsApp message says that, yeah, his daughter needs an operation. So we have reason, we have means, but is Jack a real criminal? It says, although the end seems close, don't rush and accuse a man unjustly. So then we have the lovely Claudia, the wife. So she obviously lives a very unhappy life with Stephen. He, although a successful film director and top businessman with a successful company, had a huge passion for drinking. We know that because there was a lot of alcohol found in his blood, like plus 65, and also obviously cigars as well. So yeah, and she was due to inherit everything anyway. She had him insured for $1 million life policy. So there's, you know, it says a new and strong reason. Well, yes, indeed. Right, so suspect number 3 is Henry Smedley from cabin 214, instructed by Stephen to buy tickets. He was clearly boarded and right next to Stephen, although from the shareholder agreement we note that he ended up with a small fortune of 500,000 euros. His debts were much higher than this and even risked imprisonment. A fact proven by the email from the recovery company Repo's Arrest. Yes, they threatened to send it to the police. He needed urgency and lots of it. And the agreement clause said that he was past the point that gives him about 4.5 million reasons to kill Stephen immediately. And then we've got the other one, which is Paul Doodley. He is the direct beneficiary of the agreement as well, especially since he needs the money. He was, we've got another case on here saying that that there was someone else asking him for money, and it says that his need for money to win the auction is in an extremely short time justifies the murder. He was trying to get some work, but I think he needed money to get it. So that was the work in Germany. And what's more, we can see from the email correspondence from the bank that he has really big financial problems. Again, someone who's got big financial problems. For someone who loves money so much, this step is relatively easy to take, right? It says, no, you don't have to have already gone through the case file with the other one, but there's another one, so he links his other murder mystery on Etsy. So yeah, there we go. A. And then, where did I put B? This, the one I've sealed, is the answer. So perhaps we would like to do that. Would everyone like to do that now? Right, so set B, sorry. Keeps telling me I'm restfully recharged. Thanks so much. Thank you awfully. So it says, I said, okay, so we've identified a circle of suspects, just 4 on a huge ship, and getting down to a few suspects is already a huge process. So let's see everyone's alibi. Right, so I did the additional password and I got some extra bits. Right, so on the day of the 15th, which is when Stephen was murdered, the death mentioned on the legal medical certificate, Jack was the one who taught the Explorer of the Danube course with course code ED99. On his employee ID, we can see he has that ID number. The same ID number is also in the report of the scanned events. Right. So yeah, he is actually taking that course. So it says, under these conditions, the evidence at the moment indicates that the cleaner could not have committed the crime. Now, we've got the missus now. But I mean, it is just literally who, I think it is a guess at this point, as to who you don't like. I know a lot of people have said the wife. I thought it might be this chap, the one that needs like all the money and stuff. But I mean, even if you did kill him and got all that money, it still wouldn't be enough, and they'd still press criminal charges. So I don't know. And then there's Paul. So it says if they all have alibis, who committed the crime? It says you can find the final answer in C. Right, so do you want to put your answer down below? We are at 50 minutes and it's ridiculous now. I've spent like half my day-to-day reading, so which I don't mind at all. But yeah, so put your answers down below, and what I will do is I will reveal this on Friday in my next video. So yeah, we've got the 4 suspects: Paul, Henry, the wife, and the cleaner. We know the cleaner was teaching the course, but with the error code, we also know that one of the men had a partner, because there was +2 in the room. So he could have easily have given his card to someone else to make it look like he'd, you know, checked in upstairs or whatever. But it is going to be one of these 4 people. So let me know who you think it was. The business partner that's in trouble, but also going to be in trouble with the police. The other business partner who's got less debts, but wants it for some venture in Germany. The wife who was set to inherit everything, and also she had a €1 million insurance policy out on him. Or the cleaner whose daughter was desperately ill, and he needed the money to pay for her stuff. I would like to think that it is one of the men, but I'm gonna guess. I don't know. I think it's I was gonna say Paul, but Henry's in bigger trouble, so I don't know. I think I'm still gonna guess as a wife. Yeah, I think he pushed her too far. So I think that I'm going to go with... Oh, gosh. I don't know. I really don't. Help me, someone. Help me. So, yeah, I'm going to go with... I think I'm going to go with Poor Doodling or Henry Smedley. Oh, dear. Don't know. I want to say him because he's got more motive, Henry, but something keeps leading me to Paul. Right, I'm going to say Henry. So leave in the comments down below who you think and why. And then on Friday, which will actually be the 18th, so you know, we're well over halfway in the month. And yeah, obviously the next one at Christmas, I'm going to write that. So we'll have a few more suspects. And yeah, it'll be in like a bit of a better location and stuff, and mine's centered in winter or Christmas, around a stately home. So I can't wait to share that with you, and your feedback has been amazing, so thank you. Let me know what else you want me to put in it. Now is the time, because I'm like writing it at the moment. So yeah, this one, it's just one of those ones that you can download of Etsy. But basically, if they've all got alibis now, it is just weeding out who it is. So I think Henry, although my first instinct was the wife. So, but I'm not edging my bets. Let me know who you think down below. So, thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Tell me what you think about Wings of Amber. Oh, they were so good. And I am so pleased that we finished off our lovely book by GB. So Bake and Save is done. I will save it, and we will definitely come back to this. I've got this as a digital download. Like I said, I think she does sell physical copy in her shop, and if she doesn't, then please contact her. She's a lovely, lovely lady. And yes, I hope that that's okay. Sorry, I keep nudging the camera. But Wings of Ember, we've just started, which is amazing. And I'm going to reveal this on Friday. So let me know who you think it is. Have a lovely rest of your week. I will see you on Friday. Let's say our serenity prayer together, which is, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. God bless you. God bless your families. And I will see you on Friday for the murderer. And then we will continue Wings of Ember probably next week, because I'm really, really enjoying it. Okay. Love you all. See you then. Bye-bye. Bye.